Yeah, hey, Derek. So I guess you're sort of in a more unique situation than some other guys in the sense that quarterback is a lot of timing stuff with your receivers and all that, and having those 2 weeks off can sort of throw a wrench in things. Can you address, if you guys haven't skipped a beat as an offense, and then secondly, were you able to throw with guys during the shutdown, or was there some way that you could sort of mitigate all the issues that you guys were facing, just not being able to basically play football or practice football or work out as a team for those 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think for those 2 weeks, it was tough. It was tough to get together because a lot of guys were quarantined here and there. You might have had one or two guys that were free, but as soon as we got cleared, we came back in the building. We kind of had like a week of just workouts, and after workouts, me and the receivers, tight ends, and running backs through every single day. So they kind of got back on the right foot, and then this week in practice has been good. I think everything's it's been connected. I think over time, I started to get to know those guys. They started getting to know me, so everything is much easier, later in the year. So I think we didn't skip a beat.
Derek, we've got David Furones from the Sun Sentinel next. David, go ahead.
Hey, Derek. I know you still got a few games to play this season, but obviously you must have come to Miami thinking, okay, you got 1 year to showcase yourself, and then it's on to the NFL. But now with this pandemic not counting toward eligibility, have you thought at all about where your mind might be at in terms of that decision on whether you're potentially coming back or not?
I haven't really sat down like my family and the coach didn't really talked about it, but I mean, obviously it's always in the back of my mind. But we got a lot of games left. We got 2 games left, so I'm focused on those 2 games. But I mean, it's always been a dream to play NFL. But it's playing the University of Miami is great as well. Like living in the city, Miami. I don't think it's probably one of the best universities in the country, so you can't beat it. But I'm focused on these next 2 games.
Derek, we've got Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Derek. First of all, what have these 2.5 weeks, I guess, or more than that, been like emotionally? First, you had your team COVID quarantine, then you had 3 games rescheduled, then you had one of them change, replaced with Duke. What's everything been like for you?
Man, it's been super slow, So I'm just excited to get back. Before Wake Forest game got canceled, because lastly myself and everybody was focused on Wake Forest. But now we're playing Duke. We're focusing on Duke right now. And I'm just excited to be back. I'm just missing those 2 weeks. It makes you really think about football and how much you love football. I mean, I would do anything to play a college football game, man. And I'm just really, really excited to get back out there on this Saturday.
And the other thing is, I asked Jalen this: how significant would it be to win these last 2 or 3 games and get to a New Year's Six bowl? Because you're on track right now, knowing everything you guys have been through. What would that be like?
Man, it'll be huge. Just finishing the season the right way. That's all we talk about as a team. Just finishing the right way. Taking it one game at a time. But we got to start with Duke. So this Saturday it's a big game for us. We got to go on the road, play Duke. So that's the first step to everything else. We got to just focus on this game.
Thanks.
Derek, we got 2 more for you. We're going to go to David Lake from InsideTheU. David, go ahead.
Hey, Derek. I was wondering. Obviously you came to Miami, you made it clear you wanted to test yourself against Power 5 competition on a regular basis. I'm wondering, when you look at this season, I know it's not finished yet, you still got a couple games, but how do you feel like your year here has developed you most, considering that you are playing primarily against Power 5 competition? What are you most proud of that you've developed in your game this year?
Yeah, I think it's been a challenging year as far as just like developing, but I think the game has slowed down for me. Just going through all my reads, trying to make the right play every time. Taking what's there, not turning the ball over. Just everything, especially it's coming to a new team. Trying to put wins together, trying to be a leader for this team. I think I grew in that area, especially being a leader. I think that's the most area I grew in. I'm still trying to keep going and to get better as far as football-wise every single game, because at the same time, it's never enough, I'm my hardest critic, so if I have a good game, it's always stuff I could have done better. If I have a bad game, I'm coming to build it and try to correct it. So I'm still working on all that.
Awesome. Derek, last one for you is from – I'm sorry. We got 2 more. We got Tom D'Angelo from the Palm Beach Post. Tom, go ahead.
Thanks, Cam. Hey, Derek. Manny said several times this is a year of adjusting, and you come in today, and then you come in tomorrow, and everything could be upside down from what it was today. Last 2 weeks have been nothing. It's been the epitome of that. And you think you're playing Wake, now you're playing Duke. When all this has happened in a normal year, I mean, if you're part of the change in a normal year, it's a huge deal. Was it just like water off the bat? I mean, did all this kind of stuff happen? Was just, okay, now we're playing someone different, we'll just move on. And have you kind of adjusted to learning how to adjust?
Yeah, no doubt. This year, especially since the start of 2020, it's been crazy. So I think just the whole year in general, you gotta learn how to adjust. I mean, it might be something one day, the next day something totally different. I think our coaching staff and everybody in the building does a great job of keeping us on track. Like I said, I was watching film on Wake Forest for 2 or 3 days, and me and Coach Lashley was texting back and forth of what we like, what we see, and now Wake Forest getting counsel. Now you got to focus on Duke. You got to have a whole new game plan. They run a totally different scheme, different personnel. So you got to just focus on that day. Today, like I came out here and I tried to focus on this practice. Then tomorrow, just focus on whatever is next. So you got to just keep going like that.
And if I could, one more. Yesterday, a bunch of changes were made by the ACC, and basically what it did, when it boils down, it kind of gave you guys one less chance of getting, if you take care of your business, getting into the ACC championship game, because they took one game away from Clemson. Did that mean anything to you? When you looked at it, did you look at it and say, oh, what are they doing to us, or just move on? How did you kind of react when you saw those changes?
I mean, obviously, I think a lot of guys on the team would like to have a chance to play in a championship game. But like I said, it is what it is. I mean, it's 2020. We can only control the things we can control. So we got to focus on Duke and then focus on North Carolina next week. So we've taken it 1 week at a time, and whatever we control, that's what we got to focus on.
Thank you.
Awesome. Last one for you, Derek, is Chris Stock from InsideTheU. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, Derek, just curious on your impressions of Navon Donaldson. He's been out there. Just your impressions, what you think of him as a player. What have you seen?
He's a great player. I heard a lot about him when I first got here. I knew he was going to redshirt this year, but just having him in practice in the last couple of weeks and dressing up for games, and as kind of like an emergency guy, you can tell he's a really good player. He's a really big guy. He eats up a lot of space. He's smart. He knows his technique. He knows exactly what to do. He knows his strengths. So I think he's a really good player at the guard position. Looking forward to playing with him.
Hey there, Mike. So maybe out of all the players that were most affected by the shutdown, I mean, you were on just such a roll over those previous 3 games. Is it frustrating to you, not just as a team, but personally, that you had finally sort of had it all click, and then bam, this thing out of your control sort of shuts you down for a couple of weeks? If you can talk about that, and then also maybe if you've been able to get right back into the flow of things, or if it's been, a little tough coming off of the unprecedented shutdown and then getting right back into practice.
Man, it's 2020, so first of all, when everything been going down, I've been working on my mental. So, that was just, a bump in the road. And, we get the opportunity to finally come out, have fun, practice, and prep for Duke. And, we're back on the road. So I really don't see it as a stoppage. I just see it another bump in the road. We just keep going.
Mike, we got Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Mike, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good.
Good. I know that you played in the Orange Bowl, right? That a few years ago.
Freshman year, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, you guys are kind of in the driver's seat now for a New Year's Day Bowl. Could be the Orange Bowl, could be any of the big ones. If you just keep winning, how big is that to you?
Oh, it's very big. We focus on one game at a time. We got Duke, got North Carolina, and we got Georgia Tech. And then, everything plays out well. We'll be blessed to stay home and play in the Orange Bowl. But that's very huge, coming from what we came from last year, a down season, Shreveport, Independence Bowl to, one of the biggest bowls in it. And that just shows you, like, the chemistry of this team that, we just keep going, keep pushing through everything. It's 2020. And, Coach Diaz do his best job just having everybody locked in and just keep pushing forward, just better days ahead. And, we finish strong and, we'll be at the Orange Bowl somewhere big at the end of the season.
Hey, Mike, do you watch the college football playoffs? Like last night on ESPN, they give the rankings and stuff. Are you in? I know you guys are number 10. You're way up there, but do you watch it or?
No. My last time actually watching it was my freshman year when we was ranked, when they put us number 2 in the country. Me and Trajan Bundy and a couple guys was in the dorm. That's my last time watching.
Why that long ago?
I don't know. First of all, we was just young and we was just happy going crazy that we're number 2 in the country. But now, it's really one game at a time. I don't really, look at the rankings or whatever, because you can be number 1 the next day, and then next week you can drop down to 7. So I just focus on the opponent that we have, team that we have. So I don't really look into the rankings like that.
Thank you.
Great. Mike, we're going to go to David Furones at the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, I asked Derek as well, but you figured going into the season, long ago, this would have been your last as a senior, but now with this not counting toward eligibility, you'll have an extra season potentially. Have you thought about whether you want to come back to the Hurricanes or move on to the NFL?
Oh, no, I didn't think about that yet or have no conversation with anybody, but the only person I really talked to with that was Coach Likens and Derek King and my pops, my father. So we've been heavy, just been talking about that every once in a while. But we got 4 more games actually. So anything can change. They remember December, so trying to go out with a bang with that one.
All right. Last but not least, we got David Lake from InsideTheU. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, I was wondering, you being an older guy, I was wondering if you could share whether or not you feel like the culture is changing, is in a better place this year than maybe the first few years you were at Miami, and if you do think that is the case, why?
I think that yes, the culture actually changed, and the players, we actually have a voice. This year, the players have a voice, and this is a player-led team, and believe it or not, Coach Diaz, the head coach, and we got coaches, that runs oppositions and everything else. But honestly, we run the team. If you're really close to this team and watch us in practice and watch us in games, we the ones that the first 11 that play on offense, the 11 that play on defense, and the special team guys, we all run this program. And we just listen to our coaches, and basically we do it all. So that's why the chemistry is so strong, and we play. We finish how we finish.
Does that just make more accountability with you guys when it's player led, you feel?
Yes, sir. When it comes down to the leaders, the younger guys stepping up, younger guys listening, and it's the brotherhood.
Hey, Jalen, you're the first player we've talked to in like over 2 weeks. So I want to get your sense. How tough was that 2-week shutdown? Was it easy getting right back into practice? Was it difficult? Just staying in conditions. Sort of just talk about the challenges you and the team have faced during that unprecedented shutdown period.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. If you combine these last 2 weeks, 3 weeks we've been off, plus the bye weeks that we've had off, like we've just had a ton of downtime during the season, and that's just kind of really unprecedented. And so, for me personally, I really like kind of having a regimented schedule and like kind of get into a routine of things. So kind of having that happen really threw me off. But it was great getting back into practice. We've been back at it since last Thursday, really, in the weight room. And then on Sunday, we started practicing again. So it's just been great to kind of get the guys back together and kind of just get back to the usual.
Jalen, we've got Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Jalen. So what has this been like? I guess you said this emotionally for you. What have you done exactly the past couple of weeks? Could you meet with teammates, like socially distance, and do anything?
I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Zombies. I'll tell you that much. But no, I mean, I did a couple of the workouts at my apartment gym while we couldn't be at the facilities. But as soon as it opened back up, man, I was the first one back in here. I love lifting, so it's like I said, it's been great to have everybody back.
And also, Jalen, how significant would it be to win these last 2 or 3 games, however many you've got to play, and get to a New Year's Six bowl, knowing all you guys have been through?
I mean, that's everything. That's obviously the only goal that we have is to just week by week, win the game that's ahead of us. And that's kind of what we've been doing all season. And this kind of downtime has really just made us hungrier. And we're just ready to finish the season off, the best that we can.
Thanks.
Jalen, we've got David Lake from InsideTheU. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Jalen, I know you said you like the routine of playing in a normal season week to week to week, but was it good for you personally in any way in terms of like healing up? Because the last game you played, you played a ton of snaps. Was it good in that way at all for you?
I think you don't really get like fully time to heal until after the season is done. Obviously it helps like little lingering things that might have been bothering me, but my body feels great. At the tail end of the season, I've been putting a lot of work personally in the training room, and I know kind of the team's philosophy has been really to kind of put in just as much work in the training room and in recovery as we're putting in on the field, and I think that's key for us, coming down the stretch and making sure that we're lasting.
Jalen, last one I got for you is from Chris Stock from InsideTheU. Chris, go ahead.
And you just mentioned you enjoy the weight room and things like that. Just how much have you improved in that area since you've been at Miami? What are your marks right now? Either I know you guys are getting ready to do max later on, but just kind of where you're at with your weight room numbers.
I personally don't know the exact numbers. I knew I came in, my squat max was probably around like 370, and that was closer to 500. My bench max, we just did the 21, like the rep out for 225, and I think last time I did it, I think I got like 24 or 25 or something like that. So my numbers have been good. Obviously we put a lot of work in with Feely in the off-season program, but then also what's been really good is our in-season program, and I think that's kind of what separates Feely from a lot of these other strength coaches, is just how much attention to detail he has for our in-season program and how that's able to make our bodies like prolonged during the seasons.
Awesome.